The large metal doors slid open with a soft hiss. Supreme Counselor Drekthar walked into the round chamber where the other 11 members of the Galactic Council waited. His gray skin shimmered under the bright lights as he took his seat at the head of the circular table. "Let us begin the 4302nd meeting of the Galactic Council," Drekthar said. His voice was deep and carried across the room without effort. "Today we discuss the blue planet in System 2814, called Earth by its natives." A three-dimensional image of Earth appeared above the center of the table. It rotated slowly, showing the blue oceans and green-brown landmasses. "The humans have developed faster than expected," said Counselor Mech. "They have basic space travel now. They have sent simple robots to nearby planets." Drekthar nodded. "Yes, but they are still primitive. Their ships cannot leave their solar system. They fight among themselves. They know nothing of the greater galaxy. Their resources are plentiful," said Counselor Vren, looking at data charts that appeared next to the Earth image. "Water, minerals, biological diversity. Their planet would make an excellent addition to our holdings." Drekthar smiled, showing his pointed teeth. "I agree. Does anyone object to declaring humans a valid target for resource extraction and potential colonization?" The chamber was silent. No one objected. "Very well," Drekthar said. "Earth is now officially a valid target. General Vrax will lead the first contact team. Standard approach: show strength, demand surrender, begin extraction." The council members stood and bowed before leaving. None of them worried about the humans. It would be a simple mission like hundreds before it. The humans would see their ships, understand they were outmatched, and surrender. Those who resisted would be dealt with. It was the way of the galaxy. None of them knew they had just made the biggest mistake in the Council's long history. Dr. Tae-Wan Kim rubbed his tired eyes as he stared at the computer screen. The clock on the wall showed 3:17 a.m., but he couldn't sleep. Not after what he had seen in the data. The Stellar Defense Initiative laboratory was quiet this late at night. Most of the other scientists had gone home hours ago, but Taiwan couldn't tear himself away from the strange readings. "This can't be right," he muttered, adjusting his glasses. The energy signatures at the edge of the solar system were unlike anything he had ever seen. They appeared and disappeared, like something moving through space but trying to stay hidden. He reached for his phone and paused. Calling Admiral Ji-Ho Park at this hour would not be pleasant. The Admiral was known for his bad temper when woken up, but this couldn't wait. Taewan dialed the number. After 4 rings, a gruff voice answered. "This better be important, Dr. Kim." "Admiral Park, I'm sorry to call so late, but I've detected unusual energy signatures beyond Neptune. They don't match any known natural phenomenon." There was silence on the other end of the line. Then, "Send me the data. I'm coming in." The line went dead. Taiwan sent the files and leaned back in his chair. If his suspicions were correct, everything was about to change. 2 hours later, Admiral Ji-Ho Park stood in the secure underground command center of the Earth Defense Force. His uniform was perfectly pressed, despite the early hour. 6 screens on the wall showed different views of the solar system, with red dots marking the locations of the strange energy signatures. "How many?" Ji-Ho asked, his voice calm but tense. "At least 20 large objects," Taiwan replied. "Possibly ships. They're using some kind of technology that makes them hard to detect, but our deep space sensors are more advanced than they seem to realize." Ji-Ho nodded. For decades, Earth governments had worked together in secret, developing defenses against potential alien threats. The public knew about the basic space program, the moon missions, the Mars rovers, the International Space Station. They didn't know about the hidden fleets, the advanced weapons, the shielded bases on the moon and Mars. "It's happening," Ji-Ho said quietly. "Just as we feared. We always knew we weren't alone." He pressed a button on the console in front of him. "Get me the Security Council, all members. Priority Alpha." Taewan looked at the Admiral. "Do you think we're ready?" Ji-Ho's face was grim. We're about to find out. Captain Sunmi Kang sat in the command chair of the EDF Thunderbolt, one of Earth's most advanced ships. Though the public knew nothing about it, the Thunderbolt had been built in secret, using technology reversed engineered from a crashed alien craft found decades ago. "Captain, we've received new orders," said her communications officer. Directly from Admiral Park, Sunmi straightened in her chair. "Put it on screen." Admiral Jiho's face appeared on the main view screen. "Captain Kang, we have detected multiple unknown objects near the edge of our solar system. Your orders are to investigate but not engage. Stealth is priority. These may be the visitors we've been preparing for." Sunmi felt her heart beat faster, but her voice remained steady. "Understood, Admiral. We'll maintain communications blackout as per protocol." After the transmission ended, Lieutenant Hyun-woo Baek approached her chair. As her second-in-command, he was one of the few people she trusted completely. "Do you think it's really happening?" Hyun-woo asked quietly. "After all these years of preparation?" Sunmi looked at the stars on the view screen. "We always knew this day would come. That's why we're here." She turned to her crew. "Set course for the edge of the solar system. Maximum stealth mode. We are to observe only." As the Thunderbolt moved silently through space, hidden from both Earth's population and the approaching aliens, Sunmi couldn't help but wonder what they were about to face. Humanity had prepared as best they could, but were they ready for first contact? General Vrak stood on the bridge of his command ship, watching as they approached the small blue planet. His scaled skin was dark green, and the medals on his chest showed his many victories. "Status report," he demanded. "All ships in position, General," his officer replied. "The natives show no sign of detecting us. Their technology is primitive, as expected." Vrak smiled. This would be an easy conquest. "Prepare the first wave. Standard intimidation formation. Let them see our power." "Yes, General. And if they resist?" Vrax laughed. "They won't resist for long. No valid target ever does. The Council has never been wrong." Back on Earth, the world's leaders gathered in a secure video conference. On screens around the globe, Admiral Jiho explained the situation. "The visitors will likely make contact soon," he said. "When they do, we must be ready. Operation SHIELD is now active." The President of the United Alliance nodded. "The public must be told. We can't hide this." "Agreed," said Jiho, "but we should wait until we know their intentions." In his lab, Taewon monitored the incoming data from the Thunderbolt. The alien ships were larger than expected, more numerous, but there was something odd about their approach. "They're not trying to hide anymore," he muttered. "They want to be seen." The implications were clear. These weren't peaceful visitors coming to say hello. They were showing strength, intimidating, like predators cornering prey, but humans were not prey. And Earth was not defenseless. As the alien fleet moved closer, Captain Sunmi positioned the Thunderbolt behind one of Saturn's moons, watching and waiting. Lieutenant Hyun-woo analyzed the aliens' communication patterns, looking for weaknesses. Humanity had prepared for this moment for generations. The aliens thought they were hunting easy targets. They had no idea what was waiting for them. The Council had made their declaration. Earth was a valid target. It was the biggest mistake they would ever make. Captain Sunmi Kang watched the alien ships through the Thunderbolt's advanced viewing system. The vessels were massive, much larger than anything humans had built. They moved in perfect formation, like a school of metal fish in the ocean of space. "Record everything," Sunmi ordered. Her crew worked quietly at their stations. Everyone felt the weight of the moment. This was humanity's first look at alien ships. Lieutenant Hyun-woo Baek studied the data coming in from the sensors. "Captain, these ships are giving off enormous energy readings. Their weapon systems appear to be active." Sunmi frowned. "Not a friendly visit, then?" "No, ma'am." Hyun-woo pointed to his screen. "They're moving into positions around Earth. Classic attack formation." The Thunderbolt remained hidden behind Jupiter, its cloaking technology making it invisible to standard scans. The ship was one of Earth's greatest secrets. A vessel built with technology far beyond what the public knew existed. Keep monitoring their communications, Sunmi said. I want to know what they're saying to each other. General Vrak stood tall on the bridge of his command ship, the Conqueror. He looked at the small blue planet on the screen and smiled. Such a beautiful world, he said. Soon it will belong to the Council. His second-in-command, Officer Krell, nodded. The humans have no idea we're here. Their primitive sensors cannot detect our ships. Let's change that, Vrak said. It's time to announce ourselves. Prepare the standard greeting. Krell pressed buttons on the control panel. Ready, General. Begin transmission to all Earth frequencies, Vrax ordered. Let them see who their new masters are. In homes, offices, and public spaces across Earth, screens suddenly went dark. TV shows, movies, video games all disappeared. Then a new image appeared. A tall green-skinned alien with sharp teeth and cold eyes. People of Earth, General Vrak said in perfect English. The Council's translation technology had analyzed Earth's languages years ago. I am General Vrax of the Zenith Armada, representing the Galactic Council. Your planet has been designated as a valid target for resource extraction and potential colonization. People around the world watched in shock. Some screamed. Some thought it was a movie or a prank. But deep down, everyone knew this was real. Your technology is primitive, your defenses are worthless, Vrax continued. Surrender now and you will be allowed to live as workers. Resist and you will be eliminated. You have 6 Earth hours to have your leaders contact us with your surrender. The transmission ended. Chaos erupted across the planet. In the hidden command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Jiho Park watched the alien message with a grim face. Around him, military leaders and government officials from around the world joined via secure video links. So now we know, Jiho said. They want our resources. They think we're defenseless. The president of the United Alliance leaned forward. Do we have a chance against them, Admiral? Jiho nodded. We've been preparing for this day for decades. It's time to activate the Stellar Defense Protocol. He pressed his palm against a scanner. A series of lights turned green. Around the world, hidden bases came to life. On the moon, beneath the oceans, and in underground bunkers, weapons systems powered up. Dr. Kim, Jiho called. What do we know about their technology? Tae-Wan stepped forward. Unlike the others in military uniforms, he wore a simple lab coat. Based on Captain Kang's data, their ships are powerful but not invincible. They rely heavily on energy shields and plasma weapons. Similar to what we expected, Jiho said. Yes, Tae-Wan agreed, which means our countermeasures should be effective. The president looked surprised. You've been expecting these specific aliens? Not these specific ones, Tae-Wan explained. But we found a crashed alien ship 30 years ago. We've been studying their technology, learning their weaknesses, and building our defenses accordingly. Around the table, faces showed shock. This was news to many of them. Only a few people knew, Jiho said. It was the most classified secret on Earth. But now that secret might save us all. On the Thunderbolt, Yun-Woo worked frantically at his console. Captain, I'm detecting something interesting in their communications. Sunmi moved to his side. What is it? A pattern, Yun-Woo said. Their ships communicate on a specific frequency, and there's a delay, about 3 seconds between commands from the main ship and responses from the others. A weakness? Sunmi asked. Yun-Woo nodded. Possibly. If we could disrupt that communication or insert our own commands. Good work, Sunmi said. She made a decision. We need to get this information back to Earth. Her communications officer looked concerned. Captain, our orders were to observe only. If we transmit, we might reveal our position. I know the risk, Sunmi said firmly. But this could be crucial information. Prepare a tight beam transmission to headquarters. Encrypt at highest level. In a small lab on Earth, engineer Do-Yan Choi worked with a team of scientists. They surrounded a strange device, a mix of Earth technology and components from the crashed alien ship. The signal from the Thunderbolt confirms our theory, Do-Yan said. brushing her short black hair from her eyes. Their communication system has a vulnerability. She typed rapidly on her keyboard. The screen showed complex patterns of energy waves. If we can match this frequency and insert our own signal? Doyan muttered. An older scientist shook his head. It would take weeks to develop something like that. Doyan smiled. Good thing I started working on it 3 years ago. She pointed to the device. This prototype can mimic their communication signals. It's not perfect, but it might confuse them long enough to give us an advantage. The scientist looked at her with new respect. I'll call Admiral Park. General Vrax waited impatiently on his ship. How much longer? 4 Earth hours until their deadline, General, Officer Krell reported. Any response yet? Nothing official, Krell said. Their media channels are in chaos. People are panicking exactly as expected. Vrax laughed. Good. Fear will make this easier. Prepare the first wave of fighters. As soon as the deadline passes, we'll attack their major cities. Nothing too destructive. We want the planet intact. What about resistance? Krell asked. Their weapons are primitive, Vrax said dismissively. They might have nuclear missiles, but our shields can easily block them. This will be over quickly. Little did Vrax know that deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, a fleet of advanced human ships was powering up. In bunkers around the world, soldiers prepared weapons that combined Earth ingenuity with reverse-engineered alien technology. Admiral Jiho stood before the world's leaders. The 6-hour deadline was approaching. We have 2 options, he said. We can try to negotiate or we can fight. Can we win? Someone asked. Jiho's face was serious. I don't know, but I do know this. If we surrender, we give up everything. Our freedom, our future, our world. The room was silent for a moment. Then the president spoke. What do you recommend, Admiral? Jiho straightened his back. I recommend we show these aliens that humanity is not a valid target. We're not prey, we're not primitive, and we will not surrender our home without a fight. One by one, the leaders nodded in agreement. Very well, the president said. Implement the Stellar Defense Protocol. May God help us all. As the alien deadline approached, Earth prepared for battle. The Council was about to learn their second lesson about humanity. Humans don't surrender easily. The 6-hour deadline passed. On the bridge of the Conqueror, General Vrax frowned at the main screen. No response from the humans, Officer Krell reported. Foolish creatures, Vrax said. They choose the hard way. He turned to his weapons officer. Begin the first attack. Target their major cities with electromagnetic pulses. Disable their power grids, communications, and defense systems. Yes, General. The weapons officer pressed a series of buttons. Across the Zenith Armada, weapons powered up. Blue energy gathered at the front of each ship. Then, powerful beams shot toward Earth, aimed at cities like New York, Tokyo, London, and Beijing. Vrax smiled as he watched. This was always his favorite part, showing primitive species how helpless they were against Council technology. In the command center, Admiral Jiho Park watched the alien ships fire. Around him, screens showed the energy beams entering Earth's atmosphere. Shields activated, reported a young officer. Jiho nodded. For decades, Earth had secretly built a network of shield generators around the planet. The technology came from the crashed alien ship. Now it was their first line of defense. The energy beams hit the invisible shields. Blue light spread across the sky like spider webs as the attacks dissipated. Shields holding at 92% capacity, the officer said. A small smile crossed Jiho's face. Now for our response. Signal the Moon Base and Mars Station. Launch Operation Thunder. On the far side of the moon, hidden from Earth's view, a massive door opened in the surface of the gray satellite. From inside the secret base, 3 large warships emerged. Each was painted black to blend with space. Each carried weapons that no human government had ever publicly acknowledged. Similarly, on Mars, a hidden hangar built into the side of Olympus Mons released 5 more ships. And on Earth, beneath the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, doors, opened in the seafloor. Water swirled as more ships rose from their hiding places. The Earth Defense Fleet was revealing itself at last. On the Thunderbolt, Captain Sunmi received new orders. "We're joining the attack," she told her crew. "Prepare all weapon systems." Lieutenant Hyunwoo looked up from his station. "Captain, we've completed the analysis of their communication system. Duyan's team on Earth has sent us a program that might disrupt it. Upload it to our systems," Sunmi ordered. "We'll test it on the flagship." The Thunderbolt moved silently from behind Jupiter, its engines glowing softly. As one of Earth's most advanced ships, it carried special equipment for this exact mission. "Set course for the alien flagship," Sunmi said. "Maintain stealth mode until we're in position." General Vrax stared at the screen in disbelief. The electromagnetic attack had failed. "Impossible," he muttered. "Their technology should not be advanced enough to block our weapons." "General," Krell called urgently, "we're detecting multiple objects launching from the planet's moon and the Red Planet. More are emerging from the oceans." "What?" Vrax moved to Krell's station. The screen showed dozens of ships moving toward them. "These are not primitive vessels. These are warships. Their design is..." Krell hesitated. "General, they appear to incorporate technology similar to our own." Vrax's eyes widened. "How is this possible? The Council's information said they were barely capable of reaching their own moon." Before Krell could answer, the ship shook violently. "We're under attack," the weapons officer shouted. "Multiple hits to our rear shields." Vrax grabbed the command console to steady himself. "Return fire, launch all fighters." But the Zenith Armada was in disarray. They had expected an easy victory against a primitive species. Instead, they faced an organized, well-equipped fleet with technology that shouldn't have been possible. Duyan Choi watched from her lab as data streamed in. The Earth Defense Fleet was engaging the alien armada. "It's working," she said, pointing to a screen that showed the aliens' communication patterns. "Their ships are having trouble coordinating." The device she had built was broadcasting signals on the aliens' frequency, creating confusion in their fleet. Ships were receiving contradictory orders or no orders at all. Dr. Tae-Won Kim stood beside her. "Good work, Do-yeon. But they'll adapt. Eventually. We just need to give our fleet enough time to strike their command ship," Do-yeon said. "If Captain Kang's mission succeeds..." Tae-Won nodded. Everything depended on the Thunderbolt now. The Thunderbolt approached the Conqueror from below, still undetected thanks to its advanced cloaking system. Inside the ship, Lieutenant Hyunwoo led a team of 6 soldiers in special space armor. "Remember the plan," Hyunwoo told them. "We board the flagship, find their central computer, and download as much data as possible. If we can, we'll also plant Do-yeon's virus directly into their system." The soldiers nodded. They had trained for years for a mission like this, though none had expected to actually board an alien vessel. "Approaching docking position," announced the pilot's voice over their helmet speakers. "Stand by for attachment." The Thunderbolt maneuvered beneath the much larger alien ship. A special tube extended from its top designed to cut through the alien hull and create a sealed passage. "Attachment complete," the pilot said. "Cutting through hull now." A high-pitched whine filled the air as the tube's edge, made of a special metal harder than diamonds, cut through the alien ship's hull. "Breach successful," came Captain Sunmi's voice. "You have 20 minutes, Lieutenant. After that, we must withdraw regardless of your status." "Understood, Captain," Hyunwoo replied. "We'll be quick." He led his team up the tube and into the alien vessel. On the bridge of the Conqueror, alarms blared. "Hull breach in Section 7, an officer reported. "Security teams respond immediately," Vrax ordered. He turned to Krell. "How is this happening? We are the Zenith Armada. We have conquered 100 worlds." "General," another officer called, "the human ships are concentrating fire on our flanks. 3 of our vessels have taken heavy damage." Vrax couldn't believe what he was hearing. This was supposed to be an easy mission, a simple conquest of a primitive world. Now his fleet was in disarray. His flagship had been breached, and the humans were fighting back with unexpected strength. "Send a message to the Council," Vrax decided. "Request reinforcements." Krell looked shocked. General, asking for help against primitives. Do it, Vrax snapped. Tell them the humans have technology they shouldn't possess. Tell them we need more ships. Hyunwoo and his team moved through the alien corridors, staying in the shadows. The inside of the ship was strange. The walls seemed almost alive, with pulsing lights running through them. They encountered 2 alien guards. Before the aliens could react, Hyunwoo's soldiers fired special stun weapons. The aliens fell without a sound. Their physiology is different from ours, one soldier said, examining the unconscious aliens. They're lighter than they look. Less muscle mass. They evolved on a low-gravity world, Hyunwoo explained. Physically, we're stronger than they are. That's one advantage we have. They continued forward until they reached a large door with strange symbols. This matches the description of their computer core, Hyunwoo said. He attached a small device to the door's control panel. The device, designed by Do-yeon, cycled through possible codes until the door slid open. Inside was a room filled with glowing columns. In the center stood what appeared to be a main terminal. Begin the download, Hyunwoo ordered, and plant the virus. As his team worked, Hyunwoo checked his watch. 10 minutes left. They needed to hurry. On a planet far from Earth, the Supreme Counselor of the Galactic Council received Vrax's message. Impossible, Drekthar said. Humans are primitive. They cannot have advanced technology. The message is quite clear, Supreme Counselor, his aide said. General Vrax reports that humans have ships comparable to our own. They have shields that blocked our weapons. They are fighting back effectively. Drekthar frowned. The Council was never wrong. They had conquered many worlds this way. How could humans be different? Send no reinforcements, he decided. Vrax is clearly incompetent. He should be able to handle primitives without help. It was the Council's second big mistake. Lieutenant Hyunwoo's team worked quickly inside the alien flagship's computer core. They had less than 5 minutes before they needed to leave. Download at 85%, reported one of his soldiers. The virus is planted. Hyunwoo nodded. The virus, designed by Do-yeon, would spread through the alien fleet's communication system. It wouldn't disable their ships completely, but it would make coordination difficult. Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed in the corridor outside. They've detected us, Hyunwoo said. Finish the download. We need to go. The soldier at the terminal worked faster. Done, 100% complete. Hyunwoo took the small data device and secured it in his armor. Back to the ship, now. As they moved toward the exit, they heard the sound of many footsteps approaching. Alien security forces. Alternative route, Hyunwoo ordered, checking the map on his wrist computer. This way. The team turned down a different corridor, moving quickly but carefully. Behind them, alien voices shouted commands. Captain Kang, Hyunwoo called over his comm. We've completed the mission, but our exit is blocked. We're taking Route B. Sunmi's voice came through clearly. Understood. We'll reposition for extraction. Hurry, Lieutenant. On the bridge of the Thunderbolt, Captain Sunmi watched the situation unfold. The Thunderbolt was still attached to the underside of the Conqueror, but they couldn't stay much longer. Move to extraction point B, she ordered her pilot, and prepare for immediate departure. The communications officer looked up. Captain, the Earth fleet is engaging the alien armada. Admiral Park requests an update. Tell him the mission is successful, Sunmi replied. We've planted the virus and obtained their data. We're extracting now. As the Thunderbolt began to move along the underside of the much larger alien ship, weapons fire suddenly hit their shields. We've been spotted, the tactical officer announced. Shield strength at 78%. Sunmi gripped her chair. Return fire, targeted bursts only. We need to create a distraction for our team to escape. In his laboratory on Earth, Dr. Tae-won Kim examined the first pieces of data coming from the Thunderbolt. The information about alien technology was already proving valuable. Look at this, he said to Do-yeon, who worked at a station nearby. Their power systems are based on a different principle than ours. More efficient, but also more vulnerable to certain types of interference. Do-yeon studied the schematics. If we modify our weapons to target that frequency... Exactly, Tae-won said. We could disable their ships without destroying them. He sent a message to Admiral Park with their findings. The Earth fleet needed every advantage they could get. General Vrax watched in growing anger as the battle continued. His fleet was still larger and more powerful than the human ships, but the humans fought with unexpected skill and coordination. General, Officer Krell reported, intruders have been detected in the computer core. They appear to be humans. Humans? On my ship? Vrax slammed his fist on his chair. How did they get aboard? Unknown, sir. Security teams are in pursuit. Another officer called out. General, we've detected a small vessel attached to our hull. It appears to be a human ship. Vrax growled in frustration. Destroy it and find those intruders! Just then, the main lights on the bridge flickered. Several control panels went dark, then came back online showing strange symbols. What's happening? Vrax demanded. Some kind of cyber attack, the communications officer reported. Our systems are being corrupted. Vrax had never faced anything like this before. In previous conquests, the target species had always been overwhelmed by the Zenith Armada's superior technology. But these humans, they fought differently. They adapted. They found weaknesses. General, Krell said quietly, perhaps we should withdraw and reassess our approach. Vrax turned on him with fury in his eyes. Withdraw? Never. The Council has declared these humans a valid target. We will not return in failure. Lieutenant Hyunwoo and his team reached Extraction Point B, a small maintenance hatch on the underside of the alien ship. 2 alien guards stood outside. Take them down silently, Hyunwoo ordered. 2 of his soldiers moved forward with stunning weapons. The aliens fell without raising an alarm. Captain, we're at the extraction point, Hyunwoo reported. Stand by, Sunmi replied. We're approaching your position under fire. Through the small window in the hatch, Hyunwoo could see space outside, and the battle raging between the Earth fleet and the alien armada. Explosions flashed in the darkness. Laser beams cut through the void. It was beautiful and terrifying. Then he saw the Thunderbolt approaching, its shields flaring blue as they absorbed enemy fire. Get ready, Hyunwoo told his team. When they connect, we move fast. Admiral Jiho Park stood in the Earth Defense Force Command Center, watching the battle unfold on multiple screens. The Earth fleet was fighting well, but they were still outnumbered. New data coming in from Dr. Kim, an officer reported. He's found a weakness in the alien power systems. Jiho reviewed the information. Transmit this to all ships. Tell them to modify their weapons accordingly. A general approached with a concerned expression. Admiral, we have a problem. Political leaders from several nations are demanding we open negotiations with the aliens. Now? In the middle of battle? Jiho shook his head. That would be a mistake. They're worried about civilian casualties if the fight reaches Earth, the general explained. Jiho understood their concern, but he also knew something they didn't. Contact our operative on the Council homeworld, he ordered. We need to know if negotiation is actually an option. Across the galaxy, on the Galactic Council's homeworld, a human named Q-Wan Lee received the encrypted message. Outwardly, he appeared to be a minor diplomatic aide from a conquered world. In reality, he was a deep-cover agent for Earth intelligence. Years ago, when humanity discovered the crashed alien ship, they also found information about the wider galaxy. Learning they were not alone and potentially in danger, Earth's leaders had sent a few specially trained agents to infiltrate alien society. Q1 had lived among aliens for over a decade, gathering information about the Council and its practices. Now he accessed secret Council records about valid targets and their fate. The answer was clear. The Council never honored treaties with species they had declared valid targets. Negotiation would only give them time to bring more forces. Q1 sent his report back to Earth, then began his secondary mission, sabotage. As an aide in the military logistics department, he had access to the systems that coordinated reinforcements. With careful, subtle changes to orders and schedules, he could delay any additional forces heading to Earth. The Thunderbolt connected to the extraction hatch with a solid clank. Lieutenant Hyunwoo and his team rushed aboard. Everyone accounted for, Hyunwoo reported as the hatch sealed behind them. Good work, Sunmi said. Detach from the alien vessel and prepare for jump. The Thunderbolt pulled away from the Conqueror, its engines flaring bright blue. Several alien fighters moved to intercept. Enemy ships on approach, the tactical officer warned. Evasive maneuvers, Sunmi ordered. Get us clear enough to jump. The Thunderbolt twisted and turned, avoiding most of the enemy fire. What hits they took, their shields absorbed. Jump coordinates locked, the navigator announced. Ready on your command. Sunmi nodded. Jump. The stars blurred as the Thunderbolt activated its faster-than-light drive, technology reverse-engineered, from the crashed alien ship. In seconds, they were far from the battle, safe to transmit their valuable data back to Earth. Supreme Counselor Drekthar received disturbing news. The human resistance was stronger than expected. General Vrax's fleet was struggling. This is unacceptable, Drekthar said. How can primitives fight back so effectively? His aide looked nervous. The reports suggest their technology is more advanced than our intelligence indicated. Drekthar frowned. The Council was never wrong about these things. Their information about potential target worlds was always accurate. Send the Vanguard fleet, he decided. Supreme Hunter Zox will finish what Vrax could not. The aide bowed and left to relay the orders. Drekthar stared at the image of Earth rotating slowly above his desk. Such a small planet to cause so much trouble. But soon it would fall like all valid targets before it. The Council had spoken. And the Council was never wrong. Or so he believed. 3 days had passed since the first alien attack. The battle in space continued, with both sides taking losses. Earth's hidden fleet had fought well, but the aliens still had superior numbers. And now, a new threat approached. Earth's long-range sensors detected the Vanguard fleet, the Council's elite force moving toward the solar system. In the underground command center, Admiral Ji-Ho Park studied the reports with a grim face. How long do we have? He asked. The Vanguard fleet will arrive in approximately 6 hours, an officer replied. Ji-Ho nodded. Then we have 6 hours to implement Operation Reckoning. He turned to Dr. Taewon Kim and engineer Do-Yeon Choi, who had been working non-stop since Telluride. The battle began. Is the system ready? Ji-Ho asked. Taewon nodded. The planetary defense grid is online. Based on the data Lieutenant Hyunwoo retrieved, we've adjusted it to target their specific weaknesses. And the special weapon? Ji-Ho asked, looking at Do-Yeon. Complete, she said. It's non-lethal, as requested. It will disrupt their neural pathways without causing permanent damage. They'll be conscious but unable to fight. Ji-Ho smiled slightly. Even in the face of invasion, humanity had chosen not to slaughter their enemies. It was a point of pride for him. Good, he said. Now we need our strike team to reach the Council homeworld. Captain Sunmi Kang stood on the bridge of the Thunderbolt, which had been quickly repaired after its mission to the alien flagship. Her ship had been chosen for the most important mission of all. Jump coordinates set, the navigator reported. Using the data from their computers, we can reach the Council homeworld in one jump. Sunmi nodded. This would be humanity's boldest move. A direct strike at the heart of the Galactic Council while defending Earth at the same time. Lieutenant Hyunwoo, is your team ready? She asked over the comm. Yes, Captain, came the reply. We're prepared. For insertion. Very well. Sunmi took a deep breath. All crew to jump stations. We depart in 5 minutes. On the Council homeworld, Q-Wan Lee worked quickly in his small office. As a supposedly minor diplomatic aide, he had access to certain systems, access he was now using to help Earth. He had received the coded message, Operation Reckoning was beginning. His role was crucial. Q-Wan sent a series of commands to the planet's security system. At precisely the right time, certain sectors would experience routine maintenance, sectors that happened to include the Council chambers. Then he gathered his hidden equipment. After years of deep cover, his true mission was about to begin. Supreme Counselor Drekthar called an emergency session. All 12 members of the Galactic Council gathered in their grand chamber, a massive room with a high ceiling and walls. covered in symbols representing 1,000 conquered worlds. The human resistance continues, Drekthar said, but the Vanguard fleet will soon arrive to end this nonsense. Are we certain the humans will fall? Asked Counselor Mech. The reports from General Vrax are concerning. Drekthar waved his hand dismissively. Vrax is incompetent. Supreme Hunter Zox will not fail. The humans have surprised us with their technology, yes, but they are still outnumbered and outgunned. None of the council members noticed the small disruptions in the security system. None saw the alert that a ship had appeared in orbit using an unauthorized jump point. And none knew that humanity was about to give its answer to being called a valid target. The Thunderbolt emerged from its jump just outside the council homeworld's detection grid, or where the grid should have been active if not for Q1's sabotage. We're clear, Sunmi said. Launch the insertion pods. From the belly of the Thunderbolt, 5 small pods shot toward the planet below. Each contained a team of soldiers led by Lieutenant Hyunwoo. Good luck, Lieutenant, Sunmi said. We'll be here when you return. Thank you, Captain, Hyunwoo replied. Let's hope this works. The pods entered the atmosphere, their special shielding making them nearly invisible to sensors. They landed precisely where planned, near the council chambers in a zone where security was temporarily offline. Hyunwoo and his team emerged quickly, wearing suits that mimicked the appearance of council security forces. With Q1's help, they had the codes to enter any door. Move fast, Hyunwoo ordered. We have 20 minutes to reach the chamber. Back on Earth, Admiral Jiho activated the planetary defense grid. All around the world, hidden installations powered up. On the Moon, Mars, and in orbit, special satellites aligned themselves. The Vanguard fleet has entered the solar system, an officer reported. They're moving faster than expected. Jiho nodded. Let them come, all ships. Fall back to defensive positions. Prepare to activate the grid on my command. The Earth fleet, which had been fighting the first wave of alien ships, began to retreat toward Earth. The alien commanders, thinking they were winning, pursued eagerly. They're following, someone said. Good, Jiho replied. That puts them exactly where we want them. On the council homeworld, Hyunwoo's team met Q1 at the arranged location. The council is in emergency session, Q1 told them. All members are present. Perfect, Hyunwoo said. Is the broadcasting system ready? Q1 nodded. I've prepared it exactly as requested. When you enter the chamber, I'll activate it. Every species in the galaxy will see what happens. Hyunwoo checked his weapon. Not a gun, but a special device developed by Do-Yan. Then he looked at his team. Remember, no killing unless absolutely necessary. We're here to deliver a message, not start a war. The soldiers nodded. They moved toward the grand doors of the council chamber. The Vanguard fleet, led by Supreme Hunter Zox, approached Earth with overwhelming force. Hundreds of warships, each larger and more powerful than those in the first wave. Primitive world, Zox said, looking at the blue planet on his screen. Soon you will understand your place in the galaxy. His ships moved into attack formation. They didn't bother with stealth or subtlety. This was to be a show of force. The full might of the council brought against a species that dared to resist. Weapons at full power, Zox ordered. Target their major cities. This time we will break through their shields. His weapons officer complied. Across the fleet, weapons charged. Fire, Zox commanded. Energy beams shot toward Earth from hundreds of ships at once. Enough power to devastate a planet. But before they reached Earth's atmosphere, something unexpected happened. The beams hit an invisible barrier and simply stopped. The energy dispersed harmlessly into space. What? Zox stared in disbelief. Report! Some kind of energy field, his science officer said. Unlike anything we've encountered before. It absorbed the attack completely. Then from the planet below, thousands of small points of light appeared. Beams shot upward from installations hidden on Earth, from the Moon, from Mars, and from satellites in orbit. The beams didn't target the ship's weapons or engines. Instead, they penetrated the hulls and affected the crews directly. Aliens fell, unconscious or became disoriented. unable to operate their vessels. What is happening? Zox tried to stand but found his limbs wouldn't respond properly. All around him, his crew slumped in their chairs, still conscious but unable to move. Across the entire fleet, the same scene played out. In minutes, the mighty Vanguard fleet was neutralized without a single ship being destroyed. The doors to the council chamber burst open. Before the surprised council members could react, Hyunwoo and his team entered. "What is the meaning of this?" Drekthar demanded, rising from his chair. "We are representatives of Earth," Hyunwoo said calmly. "The planet you declared a valid target." "Impossible," Drekthar sputtered. "How did you reach our world?" Instead of answering, Hyunwoo activated Doyeon's device. A field of energy spread throughout the room, and the council members found themselves unable to move from their chairs. "Don't worry," Hyunwoo said. "The effect is temporary. We could have killed you, but that's not humanity's way." He nodded to Q1, who had entered behind them. Q1 pressed a button on his wrist device. Screens appeared around the chamber, showing the Vanguard fleet floating powerless above Earth. "Your invasion has failed," Hyunwoo told the stunned council. "Your ships are disabled, your crews are alive but harmless." Then more screens activated. These showed the faces of countless alien species across the galaxy, all watching what was happening in the council chamber. "For too long, you have declared peaceful worlds valid targets," Hyunwoo said, addressing not just the council but the entire galactic audience. "You've manufactured threats and created fear to control others. Today, that ends." The broadcast continued for several minutes as Hyunwoo revealed the council's long history of deception and conquest. Many of the watching species had themselves been victims of the council's protection. Finally, he turned back to Drekthar. "Humanity's answer to being called a valid target is this. We reject your authority. We offer friendship to peaceful species, but we will never surrender to threats. The people of Earth are not your prey. We are not primitive, and we are not afraid." 1 month later, Captain Sunmi Kang, now Admiral Sunmi, stood on the bridge of Earth's first official diplomatic vessel. The stars shone brightly on the view screen as they prepared to meet representatives from former council worlds. Lieutenant Hyunwoo, now Captain Hyunwoo, commanded his own ship nearby. Dr. Taiwan and Doyeon worked together on Earth, leading a new initiative to share technology with peaceful allies. And